It's a beautiful rainy day here in Austin, Texas, and I had a chance to interview interactive panelist Juan Garcia. Juan, tell us about transmedia.
Thanks, Sean. Transmedia is essentially the art of telling the narrative or a story using multiple platforms and a lot of cross-media. The idea, though, is that each piece doesn't dilute the brand. It actually adds to the whole, so it makes this complex piece. So, say for the ultimate fan, it actually makes the experience more rewarding and that much more rich.
Give us an example of transmedia that people might be able to relate to.
Yeah, absolutely. The staple for most people is actually The Matrix. It's because it has this rich film legacy and the three films. A lot of people aren't aware that there's also it goes a little bit deeper than that. There's multiple video games, comic books, animated series, things like that. But each piece, again, actually tells a different side of the Matrix. And in some cases, like in the video game, you actually play as ancillary characters or supporting characters that actually the main characters then talk about in the three films. So it's a way for the audience to kind of see how all the pieces fit together in this universe.
And what's the future of transmedia, and especially as it relates to the nonfiction world?
Yeah, it's a great question. It was here recently that Henry Jenkins, who's actually at USC now, formerly of MIT, he actually said that the nonfiction space or the reality space can incorporate transmedia. And so I think that we're going to see more people recognizing that and using that in places beyond politics. We'll start to see it in more documentary shows and more projects. In fact, there's a new project that Simon Fuller's company, 19 Entertainment, has just introduced called If I Can Dream. And that project is quite interesting, so folks should check that out because I think that we'll see a lot of transmedia incorporated into that.
And talk a little bit about your panel and what you were trying to accomplish with that, what you wanted people to take away.
Yeah. What we wanted to do first and foremost is actually bring people into what transmedia is. It's been kind of debatable as to what the term really means over the last few years, but that's also because it's a really young term. You might see it as participatory media or collaborative culture media, but what they're trying to do is make transmedia really stick to this particular genre. And so after we did that, we sort of explored the world of the future using things like Gowalla, even location-based apps, to bring people in to whatever these stories are and use them in some way, be it with photo or video, and actually doing things live versus having to wait to interact with characters.
And so Docubloggers is a documentary series. What would the budding documentary filmmaker need to know to sort of utilize this new direction?
That's a great question. I think that for future documentary filmmakers, what you want to do, or any filmmaker, as a matter of fact, take a step back and really look and see what your story is early on, and then explore all the ways that you have to tell that story. And once you have that, you can sort of create a blueprint or a roadmap. And that'll really help, because then you'll be able to say, well, these tools are really good for what I'm doing. Long gone are the days where the filmmaker is just only looking for a distribution outlet. There are multiple places for you to release your product. And so now you have to explore, especially in a world of fragmented audiences, what's the best way to reach all the people that I want to reach, and at the same time, what's the best way to make it collaborative so they are inspired to come and be a part of the story that I'm telling.
Well, that's great advice. Where can people go to find out more information about this?
My speaking partner, Daniel Lorenzetti, actually created transmediamatrix.com. And so if you visit that site in the coming weeks, we're actually going to be populating it with more stories. Right now there's really no destination point on the web where you can incorporate anything. You can look up Henry Jenkins' blog, and he's got a lot of information out there, but nothing that's actually really cohesive. So what we're trying to do, and what Daniel's trying to do, is bring this to light. So visit that website, transmediamatrix.com, to get more info.
Juan Garcia, thanks a lot.